Good morning to each and every one of you. Greetings from Mary, Mother of the Redeemer Parish. I just want to speak to you today about a versicle from Prophet Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 2. I will go before you, and I will level the mountains. I will break down gates of bronze and cut through bars of irons. Dear brothers and sisters, we will be going weary in our life when we do not know who is God, how He takes care of each and every one of us. When we know the power of God, and when we know we are the children of God and He is always with us, we will be having more power to overcome difficulties. When we know God is with us and He never leaves us alone, we will have more courage to go through difficulties in our life, to face storms in our life, and overcome those storms in our life. Because God says, I will go before you and I will level all the mountains. He never says, there will not be mountains in your way. Here, He is not saying to us, there will not be any difficulties in our life. He is not saying to us, there will not be any mountains of difficulties, problems, jobs, with our co-workers. There will be so many problems, even in our own family, in our own marriage life, in our own finance. We see everywhere these mountains. But God says, He will go before you and He will level it. Probably you know this small story I have told you. There was a missionary and he was going in a horse bike towards a remote village to preach the gospel of God. All of a sudden, in the jungle, there was a small way. The horse stopped, and when he was looking in front, there was a gigantic snake laying down, blocking the road. It was so big. So the horse was frightened, and also he himself was frightened. And he got down from the horse and he went to look what is really happening. And he saw all of a sudden there was a gigantic, the snake was laying down, but his head, the snake head, was underneath a big stone. So he looked around and he said, okay, if I can take the other stone and can directly thrown on his head, he will die and I will be saved and I can go and preach. But he was frightened. If he is throwing the stone and it will not touch, because he was throwing the stone from right behind, not so near, it can get up and it can bite the man. But he got the courage and he took the stone and he threw it on the snake. But all of a sudden, that stone has gone somewhere else. It didn't touch its head, it touched only part of his body. But he noticed that even if that stone was touched his body, the snake was not moving. So all of a sudden, he went little bit near, more near, and all of a sudden he found out that snake was dead. Somebody gone before has thrown a stone on his head. That's why his head was underneath a stone. But he was frightened enough. Dear brothers and sisters, this is the one God is saying to us, He will go before you and will level the mountains. He will go before you and take away all the difficulties, take away all dangers from your way, just as this man who was going to preach. But when we see this snake, when we are in front of mountains, when we are facing difficulties, it will make us worry. It will make us weary also. So please, He is a God who can cut down the gate of bronze. He is the God who can cut through bars of iron. Anything strong or difficult or big will not be there in front of us when God is with us. He will free us from all these kinds of difficulties. Please believe, go through. He is going in front of us to leveling all the mountain in front of us, leveling all the difficulties, taking away all those things which frighten us in our life. God bless. Let us believe and go forward always with our God.